Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this beautiful lace stitch pineapple crochet skirt. This can serve as a beach cover-up, and when lined with a contrasting color, of course, in order to make the stitch pop, you can wear it anywhere. So this skirt can be made to any length. You can make it to floor length, maxi length, or you can make it a mini skirt, as you can see in this image. So this can be a cute beach set, a summer set, it could be a festival look, and you can put a bikini bottom on the inside, or a biker, or whatever you wish to put on the inside of this particular design. So at the end of this video, you will learn how to make this pineapple crochet stitch in rounds. And as you can see here, we have increases so that we don't create a bulge in our waistline. We have increases on both sides of the hips, and also you can match this beautiful skirt with our previous pineapple crochet bralette that we just did in our previous video. So make sure after this particular tutorial you can go and make a matching top so that you can have a matching set of this design. We already have a written pattern of this design on my online shops. I'll be leaving all the links in the description box below. And let's jump right into the materials. So this skirt has a drawstring, as you can see here. This is to adjust the waistline of the skirt so that it can be well fitted around the waist. And yeah, let's jump into the materials. Alright, so for the materials, I used a 3.5mm crochet hook. I also used a pair of scissors, a measuring tape. Mine is here. And then for the yarn, I used one ball of Alize cotton gold. That's approximately 360 yards of yarn. That's what I used, and I used a single strand, as you'll see later on in the video. So the other thing that you will need, I think, is a stitch marker, and that's it. Let's dive right into the video and learn how to make this beautiful skirt. Alright guys, so to start off your project, you're going to get your 3.5mm crochet hook and your yarn, and you're going to make a chain that can slightly stretch to your waistline circumference. For me, I'm going to start with a chain of 128, and that should be an even multiple of 8. So when you divide that number by 8, you should be able to get an even number. So for me, I'm making a chain of 128, and when I divide it by 8, I'm getting a total of 16. So 16 is an even number. So my even multiple of 8 is 128. Let me go ahead and do my starting chain, and I'll be back to show you what to do next. So make a chain that can wrap around your waistline circumference when slightly stretched, or where you want your skirt to sit. We are going to work this project from top downwards. So it's a top-down design. So we start from the upper part and then we move all the way down. Alright guys, I have my 128 chains, and you're going to make sure that your chain is not twisted. Make sure your chain is not twisted. That's by placing the braid all the way across while it's facing up. And you're going to make a slip stitch into the very first chain. So that is going to form a ring. We're going to work this project in rounds, and we shall be creating increases on the side in order to get to our hip circumference, as you'll see later on. So if I place my measuring tape on this chain, when I fold it into 2, I have a total of 13 inches without stretching, but when stretched, it can get to 14 inches when slightly stretched. So the waistline circumference that I am considering for this project is 28 inches. So you should be able to get half of your waistline circumference when slightly stretched. So let's go on to round 1. For round 1, you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. Go into the same exact chain with a double crochet, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the same exact chain, the very first chain of the round. So this counts as our very first shell of round 1. From here, you're going to make a chain of 5, skip 7 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and into the 8th, you're going to yarn over and place a double crochet into the 8th chain after skipping 7 chains. Chain 5, double crochet into the same exact chain. So that counts as a V-stitch of this pattern. A V-stitch is 1 double crochet, chain 5, and 1 more double crochet. And then you're going to make a chain of 5, skip 7 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yarn over and place a shell into the 8th. And remember, a shell for this pattern is 1 double crochet, it's 2 double crochets, so this is 1, and then another double crochet into the same chain, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the same exact chain. So a shell for this pattern is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. After this, you're going to make a chain of 5, and you're going to repeat this same exact pattern all the way around. So you're going to skip 7 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into the 8th, you're going to place a V-stitch. And a V-stitch is 1 double crochet, chain 5, and 1 more double crochet into the same exact chain. The same exact thing we did at this point. And then chain 5, skip 7 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into the 8th, you're going to place a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the same exact chain. So repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you back towards the end of my round 1. I'll be leaving timestamps for you so that you can follow along easily. So it's shell, V-stitch, shell, V-stitch, shell, V-stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you back towards the end of the round. So I'm almost coming to the end, and I've placed a V-stitch here. Now I'm going to make a chain of 5, skip 7 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into the 8th, I'm going to place a shell. So a shell is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. So you should be left with 7 chains. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. When you have 7 chains left, all right, so I've gone all the way around and I've ended with a V-stitch, and I have 7 chains left, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So when you have 7 chains left, you are going to make a chain of 5 and slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. And that marks the end of round 1. So you're going to place your work like this so that the end of the row is in the middle of your work, and get the 2 side shells These are the ones where we're going to be placing the increases. Get a shell on this side, and into the chain one space place a stitch marker, and get a shell on the opposite side as well and place a stitch marker. So these are the points where we're going to place our increases. And now we're going on to round 2. For round 2, you're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet, insert your hook, pull through all, and slip stitch into the chain one space of the first shell. And then you're going to make a chain of 3 and place 1 more double crochet into the chain one space, chain 1, 2 double crochets into the same space. So that's a shell. And then you're going to make a chain of 3. Now into the V stitch, we're going to place our 2 treble crochets together. So you're going to yarn over twice, insert your hook into the V stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over twice, insert your hook into the same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. That's your 2 treble crochets together. Chain 3, and you're going to repeat the same process for a total of 5 times. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all. So this is the second. Remember, I've told you we need to do that for a total of 5 times. Chain 3, 2 treble crochets together, chain 3, 2 treble crochets together, chain 3, and 2 treble crochets together into the same space. All this is placed into the V stitch of the previous row. So you can see we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that, you're going to make a chain of 3 and place a shell into the next shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the chain 1 space of the next shell. Chain 3. You're going to repeat the same exact process into this V stitch. So 5 groups of 2 treble crochet together stitches separated by chain 3 spaces, just like we've done here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is the first one, chain 3, the second one, chain 3, the third one, chain 3, this is the fourth, chain 3, and then the fifth. So now that we have 5 groups, you're going to make a chain of 3, and instead of just placing a normal shell into this shell, remember these are the ones that we marked where we have to place our increases. So instead of placing a shell, you're going to go into the chain 1 space with 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets into the same space, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the same space. this is what you will have. And then you're going to make a chain of 3 and do your treble crochet stitches into the next V-stitch. So I'll just mark this point just to remember where I'm supposed to increase, but at this point you should be able to notice that this point is the point of increase. All right, after your chain of 3, you're going to go into the V-stitch with your treble crochet stitches. Chain 3, 2 treble crochets together, chain 3, 2 trebles together, until you have a total of 5 groups. Just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, and this is a shell and it doesn't have a stitch marker. That means we just place a shell into the chain 1 space. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the chain 1 space of that shell, and then make a chain of 3 and place your treble crochets into that space here. You're going to repeat this until you get to your next stitch marker, where we shall create another increase on the side, just like we did here. So go all the way across without creating any increases until you get to this point. All right, so we've reached our next stitch marker. As you can see here, I've chained 3. I'm going to remove the stitch marker and go into the chain 1 space of that shell that had the stitch marker, and I'm going to create an increase by placing 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. So just like that, we've created an increase, and I'm going to just place a stitch marker somewhere in the middle just to keep track of where to increase, where the increases are. And then from here, you're going to make a chain of 3 and do your treble crochet stitches into the next V-stitch. 5 groups of the treble crochet together stitches separated by chain 3 spaces. Okay, so these are my 5 groups of 2 treble crochet together stitches separated by chain 3 spaces, and then you're going to make a chain of 3 and then place a shell into the next chain 1 space of the next shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, and into the last V-stitch we are going to just repeat this same exact process. So placing your 2 treble crochet together stitches separated by chain 3 spaces. So these are 4. I still have one more to go. So chain 3, and 2 treble crochets together. So at the end of this row you're going to make a chain of 3, and you're going to slip stitch into the top of the first chain 3 of the round, just like that. We are done with round 2. So let's see what we have. You will notice that your work should be increasing. This is because we want to accommodate the hip circumference. So remember, for the starting chain we started with a chain that is half of our waistline circumference without stretching, and our aim is to have the base of our project to stretch to half of our hip circumference. So for now I have a total of about 18 inches, and I need a total of about 20 inches because the hip circumference that I am considering for this design is 40 inches. So since I considered waistline, I have to increase on the sides so that we can accommodate the hip area. Now from here you're going to slip stitch. This is round 3. Slip stitch into the next double crochet, slip stitch into the chain 1 space of the first shell, chain 3, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the chain 1 space. So that marks as the very first shell of the round. Chain 3, skip over all this, skip the next 2 double crochets, skip the chain 3 space, and into the next chain 3 space you're going to place 1 single crochet, and then you're going to make a chain of 5 and single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space. So you'll have a total of 3 chain 5 loops. From here you're going to make a chain of 3, and then place a shell into the next shell in the chain 1 space of the next shell. So you're going to place 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets, just like that. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 3, and skip over the next 2 double crochets, skip the chain 3 space, and place a single crochet into the next chain 3 space, and repeat the same exact thing that we did here. So chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space. So that will give us a total of 5 chain 5 loops, just like we have here. All right, so after this single crochet you're going to make a chain of 3, and we've reached that shell where we increased. So you have 2 chain 1 spaces. So after your chain of 3 you're going to go into the very first chain 1 space and place a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the same chain 1 space, and then you're going to make a chain of 2 and then go into the next chain 1 space and place a shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets, just like that. And then you are going to make a chain of 3 and skip over the next 2 double crochets, skip the chain 3 space, and into the next chain 3 space you're going to place a single crochet, chain 5 and single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5 and single crochet into the next chain 3 space. So you can see what that looks like. I'm going to replace the stitch marker into the chain 2 space in between the 2 shells. That's the point of increase. So we're going to go all the way across without increasing. Here you place a shell, here you place these loops, the 3 chain 5 loops, here you place a shell, the 3 chain 5 loops, a shell, the 3 chain 5 loops until you get to your next stitch marker. And I'll meet you back at this point. Alright, so I've created the loops, as you can see. Now I'm going to make a chain of 3, and we've reached that point of increase. So we're going to do the same exact thing that we did on this side by placing a shell into the first chain 1 space. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 more double crochets, and then you're going to make a chain of 2, and then into the next chain 1 space you're going to place 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets, which is a shell, just like this. From here you're going to make a chain of 3, and then you're going to create the loops. So skip over the next 2 stitches, the chain 3 space, the very first 2 treble crochet together stitch, and then you're going to go into the chain 1 space with a single crochet, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, and single crochet into the next chain 3 space. And then after this you're going to make a chain of 3 and place a shell into the next shell in the chain 1 space of the next shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets. So I'm placing my stitch marker back into the chain 2 space between the 2 shells at the point of increase. So we're coming to the end of the row, and I'm making a chain of 3. Okay, so chain, skip over the next 2 double crochets, skip the chain 3 space and single crochet into the next chain 3 space, and then you're going to make a chain of 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space. So we are done making our last 3 chain 5 loops of the round, and you're going to make a chain of 3 and slip stitch into the top of the first chain 3 of the round, and that marks the end of round 3. Now you're going to place your work back like this, and you're going to take a measurement at the base of your skirt. This is to make sure that we eventually get half of our hip circumference. So as you can see here, we have 16 inches. Our main aim is to get to 20 inches, but when we stretch, we get to around 19 inches, just like this. So we're going on to round 4. You're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet, and then slip stitch into the chain 1 space, chain 3, double crochet into the same space, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the same space. So that's our very first shell of round 4. Now you're going to make a chain of 5 and single crochet into the next chain 5 loop. Chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, and then you're going to make a chain of 5 and place a shell into the next shell. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets. From here you're going to make a chain of 5 and single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, and then you're going to make a chain of 5 and place a shell into the next shell. So we've reached that point of increase. And at this point, if you haven't yet gotten your hip circumference, you're going to remove the stitch marker from the chain 2 space, and then you're going to make a chain of 1 and place a shell into the chain 2 space. 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets, just like this. And then you're going to make a chain of 1 and into the next shell you're going to place a shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets. So this is what your work will look like. This is our point of increase on the side of the skirt. Now from here you're going to make a chain of 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop. Then you're going to make a chain of 5, skip over the chain 3 and place a shell into the next shell. All right, so I'm going to replace my stitch marker at this point in the middle of the increase area, right there. So from now onwards, we're just going to repeat the same exact pattern. Chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, and then from here chain 5 and place a shell into the next shell in the chain 1 space of the next shell. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets. Okay, so chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, single crochet into the next loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next loop, and then chain 5 and place a shell into the next shell. So repeat that until you get to this point where we're supposed to create an increase, just like we have done on this side. So I've chained 5 and I've reached this point of increase. I'm going to place a shell into the very first shell at this point. So a shell into the first the first shell, and then into the chain 2 space. I'm going to remove the stitch marker. I'm going to make a chain of 1 and place a shell into that chain 2 space. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. And then chain 1, place a shell into the last shell of the point of increase. So your work will look like this. So I'm going to replace the stitch marker into the middle section of the increase point, and then make a chain of 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, and single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, and place a shell into the next shell. Now from here you're going to make a chain of 5 and single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, and single crochet into the last chain 5 loop of the round, and then make a chain of 5 and slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round, just like that. And that marks the end of round 4. You should see that your skirt is kind of spreading out. All right, now we are going on to round 5. And for round 5, you're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet, slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and then make a chain of 3, double crochet into the same space, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the same space. That counts as the very first shell of the round. Then make a chain of 5, skip the next chain 5 space, and go into the chain 5 loop with a single crochet, chain 5, and single crochet into the next chain 5 loop. So you can see some sort of pineapple shape that's being created here. And then you're going to make a chain of 5 and place a shell into the next shell. Another thing that I forgot to do was to measure how far we are with our skirt at the moment after round 4. And right now it's at 17, but when stretched can go to 20, and that's exactly what we want. We don't want to overstretch it as well. So for me, that's the end of the increases on the side of my skirt. So after this shell, I'm going to make a chain of 5 and skip over the next chain 5 space and go into the next chain 5 loop with a single crochet, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, and then from here chain 5 and place a shell into the next shell. Just like that. And then I'm going to remove the stitch marker here, make a chain of 1 and place a shell into the next shell. Now I'm placing a shell because I am done increasing. I'm not going to do any more increases. If you haven't yet reached your hip circumference, at this point, you're going to do the same exact thing that we did at round 2 at this point, where you place a total of 3 groups of 2 double crochets so that you can split again and spread out your skirt in order to become wider on the side to accommodate the hip circumference. But for me, at this point, I'm going to just keep it like this and keep working a shell into a shell and then a chain one and then a shell into the last shell. That's because I've gotten the circumference that I want around the hips. But if you haven't yet, then you're going to repeat that same exact process from round 2 at this point. At round 5, you will do the same process that you did for round 2 at this point. 2, 3, and 4. I hope that makes sense. So that this can become even wider in order to give you a wider coverage around the hips. So for me at this point, I'm going to just have these 3 shells running all the way down because I'm no longer increasing at all. So from here, I'm going to make a chain of 5, skip over the next chain 5 space and single crochet into the next, chain 5, and single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, and place a shell into the next shell, of course after skipping over this chain 5 loop or chain 5 space. All right, so this is what we have. You're going to go all the way around, chain 5, skip over the chain 5 space and place a single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, skip over the next chain 5 space and place a shell into the next shell. So you're going to go all the way across until you get to this point of the next increase, and I'll show you what to do. All right, so I'm going to remove this stitch marker, chain 1, and into that next shell I'm going to just place a shell because I've stopped increasing. Chain 1 and a shell into the last shell of the increase point. All right, from here you're going to make a chain of 5, skip over the next chain 5 space and place a single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, and place a shell into the next shell. And then you're going to make a chain of 5 and skip over the next chain 5 space and single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 5 loop, chain 5, and slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round, and that marks the end of round 5. So as you can see, the direction of the skirt is starting to just go down straight because we are done with the increases on the side of the skirt. You can see before it was like this, and now it's taking shape, facing downwards. Now we're going on to round 6. For round 6, you slip stitch into the next double crochet, slip stitch into the next chain 1 space, and then make a chain of 3 and 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets into the same exact space. And then we're going to repeat. At this point, we're going to repeat the same process that we did for round 2, as you can see here. So you make a chain of 3 and then do your treble crochet together stitches into this very last chain 5 loop of the pineapple. As you can see here, we have a chain 5, a chain 5, but we have this chain 5 loop. So you make a chain of 3 and you're going to place your treble crochet together stitches separated by chain 3 spaces. So 2 treble crochets together. I hope you still remember how to do them. Chain 3, 2 trebles together, chain 3, 2 trebles together. So far those are 3 of them. We want a total of 5. Alright, so we have our 5 groups, and then from here you make a chain of 3 and place a shell into the next shell. Chain 1 and a shell into the next, 2 more double crochets. This is a shell along this line. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 3 and skip over the next chain 5 space and do your treble crochet together stitches into the next chain 5 loop, just like we did here. Chain 3, 2 treble crochets together, chain 3, 2 treble crochets together, chain 3, 2 treble crochets together, chain 3 and 2 treble crochets together. So that's a group of 5 separated by chain 3 spaces. Chain 3 and place a shell into the next shell. And then from here, we're going to make a chain of 1 and place a shell into the next shell. Chain 1, place a shell into the next shell. So as I had mentioned earlier on, this remains the same throughout the pattern. this part. From now on, this is what it looks like. It doesn't change from this at this point, and also at this point of increase on the sides of the skirt. Then chain 3 and skip over the next chain 5 loop and place your two treble crochet together stitches separated by chain 3 spaces. All right, so after this, you're going to just repeat the same exact pattern until you get to your next increase level, and do the same exact thing that we've done here at this point, and then continue until the end of the round. Nothing really changes from here onwards. We are no longer increasing. So let me go ahead and finish up this round, which is round 6. And I'll meet you back towards the end of round 6 and show you what to do next. So we've come to the end of round 6, and after the treble crochet stitches, you'll make a chain of 3 and slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. So as you have seen, round 6 resembles round 2. Now for round 7, it will be the same instructions as round 3. Round 8 will be the same instructions as round 4. And round 9 will be the same instructions as round 5. So we are literally repeating rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4 rounds, but when it comes to this point, you just maintain what you have at the increase points. So I'll be leaving timestamps so that you can follow along easily. Just repeat rounds 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are done with the round that resembles round 2. That means the next one will resemble round 3. And keep working your skirt in order to get the length that you want. Alright guys, so we ended up doing a total of 29 rounds, and we've ended on a round that resembles round 5. That's the one that creates the very last loop of the pineapple, and this is what we have right now. You can see the pineapples running all the way down the skirt. This is the lower part of the skirt. You can go ahead and make this skirt to any length. But for me, 29 rounds give me a total of about 13 inches, as you can see here. About 13 inches, and I'm going to make a mini version, but you can make this beautiful design up to a maxi level if you wish. So after your very final slip stitch, once you get the length of the skirt that you want, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. Pull through. We shall weave this in later on. So we're going to go onto the upper part of the skirt. I want you to pay attention to the sides where we created the increases. This is what I was talking about when I was explaining. The increases got done at this point, and then we started running all the way down, just placing a shell into the shells separated by chain 1 spaces, as you can see here. That applies to the opposite side as well, the increased side, and this is the hip section of the skirt. So where the increases are, that's where that's the side of the skirt where the hips are going to be, so that the pineapple stitch is at the front and at the back of the skirt, as you can see here. So we're going to go onto the waistband. All right, so for the waistband of the skirt, you're going to turn your work onto the foundation chain of our skirt, and we're going to attach our yarn in any stitch with either the V-stitch or the shell. So for me, I'll attach my yarn here where I have the shell. Just attach your yarn somewhere here. And we're going to first clean up the top edge of the skirt by placing half double crochets. So into that stitch that has the shell, you're going to place a half double crochet. And then into the chain 7 space, you're going to place your 7 half double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So after your 7 half double crochet stitches, into that chain that has the V-stitch, you're going to go in there with 1 half double crochet, and then 7 half double crochets into the chain 7 space. Then into the chain that has the shell, you go in there with 1 half double crochet, and then 7 half double crochets into the next chain 7 space. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around the top opening of the skirt until you come back to the beginning of this round, the half double crochet round. So this is what it's going to create. I'm going to go all the way around until I come back to the beginning. Alright, so we've made it all the way around, and I've placed my 7 half double crochets into the last chain 7 space. You're going to go into the very first half double crochet and place a slip stitch. So you insert your hook and pull through all. So this is what your waistline of the skirt will look like. You can see it has kind of gathered in, and now we're going to go onto the waistband. You're going to make a chain. So you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet, and you're going to make a front post double crochet into the very first half double crochet, and then back post double crochet into the next half double crochet. So you push it to the back, front post double crochet into the next stitch, and back post double crochet into the next. Keep alternating between a front post and a back post double crochet all the way around. So this is going to create some kind of ribbed effect that you'll see later on. It will become more evident as we keep working our rounds. So you're going to go all the way around, alternating between a front post double crochet and a back post double crochet. Alright, so we've made it all the way around and I'm placing my last stitches. So I have a front post double crochet in the second last, and then I have a back post double crochet in the last stitch, but it doesn't matter whether you end with a front post or a back post double crochet. After this, you're going to go into the top of the very first chain 3 of the round and make a slip stitch. So we are done with the very first round of ribbing. Now we're going on to the second round, and you're going to make a chain of 3 and place a front post double crochet in the front post double crochet, and then a back post double crochet in the back post double crochet. So we are just going to align our stitches. Where you have a front post, you're going to place a front post double crochet, and where we have a back post, you're going to place a back post double crochet, and keep alternating between the 2 stitches all the way around the second round of ribbing of the waistband. So this is what you're going to have, and you can see how the ribbed effect has started forming for the skirt. So keep alternating between the 2 stitches until the end of the round. And I'll meet you back at the end of round 2 of the ribbing of the waistband. Alright, so we've come to the end of the second round of ribbing. I'm just placing my very last stitches, placing a front post in each front post and a back post in each back post. So I'm ending with a back post double crochet, but it doesn't matter what you end with. From here, you're going to make a slip stitch into the top of the first chain 3 of the round. And we are going to repeat this round 2, one more time. So you make a chain of 3 and place a front post double crochet in each front post double crochet and a back post double crochet in each back post double crochet all the way around. So you're going to repeat this round for as long as you want your waistband to be. If you want it thicker, you're going to go ahead and make some more rounds, but for me this is going to be the last round of the ribbing of the waistband, and I'll meet you back towards the end of the round. So we've come to the end of the third round of the ribbing. And I'm placing my last back post double crochet, and then you're going to slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. Insert your hook, pull through all, and then make a chain of 1. If you want to make your waistband thicker, then you're just going to repeat that round again and again until you get the length of the waistband ribbing that you want. Now we're going to make a simple chain that's going to go into this waistband in order to gather it so that it creates a better fitting around the waistline. So for this one, I am going to make just a simple chain. Start off with a slip knot, and you're going to make a simple chain of about 250 chains or 300 chains. Alright, so I ended up doing a total of 200 chains, 300 was going to be a little bit too long, so I ended up with a total of 200 chains. You're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, and then you're going to thread this tail into your darning needle, and you're going to turn your skirt onto the right side. So where we have this tail, that's the back side of the skirt. I'm going to turn it to the right side, just like this, and I'm going to go into the middle round of the ribbing, and then I'm going to go into in and out of every 2 stitches. So this is my exact middle. I'm going to go in and out of every 2 stitches in the middle round of the ribbing, as you can see here, in and out of every 2 stitches all the way around. Alright, so we've made it all the way around, and this is the front of the skirt. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and attach these shells at the end of the drawstring. So I'm just going to pull through this yarn, just like this, and I will knot at the top of the shell. Just create a simple secure knot. Just like that. You can make a double knot just so that it's secure enough. And then you can cut off the excess yarn. And you're going to repeat the same process on the opposite side. Just make a double knot. This just adds beauty to your piece, and adding a little bit of detail. You can cut off the excess yarn, and then at this point you can just go ahead and make a knot. So you can see how the drawstring is gathering the waist even more. So this is going to just create a better fitting for your skirt. So you're going to get your darning needle and weave in all your ends, and that marks the end of this tutorial. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.